James Cameron dives to the deepest part of the ocean.
But should he have done it?
I'm Lewis,
I'm Sarah.
and we're from Southern Oregon.
Let's talk about that.
Good mythical morning.
Today's episode is brought to you by Catulas.com, the guys with the goods.
Including this good. It's a toilet that your pets can drink out of.
Or it's a toilet you could use if you were really small, also.
Or it's a pet bowl that's shaped like a toilet.
You put a 3-liter or 2-liter drink in here, and then they can just drink out of the toilet all day long. You don't have to stop them.
And it should probably be water, not like a carbonated beverage. Thanks for joining us today. It is indeed another good mythical morning, no matter what time of day it is.
You may have seen...
And at what depth you are.
Yeah, because you may have seen in the news. I know I saw in the news, and then I told Link about it because he doesn't partake of the news. He's against the news. He's anti-news.
I am for second, third, fourth, and so on hand news. I'm for that.
So as far as you know,
it's the trickle down.
I could be completely making this story up just as like a practical joke on you.
But I've got enough common sense and just a wherewithal to know when you're doing that. I know you well enough to know that you're full of that type of stuff, and I wade in it all day.
Okay, well, this is a true story.
But I believe this one is
wink,
true.
Wink, wink. For some reason,
story.
I almost started with Tom Selleck. For something in my mind, James Cameron had become Tom Selleck because I was thinking about making something up. Tom Selleck dove to the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, let's make it so.
Actually, it was James Cameron, director of Titanic and director, incidentally, and I don't think this is a coincidence, of The Abyss, the movie from, when was that movie made?
I don't know. But did he take an alien with him?
Well, it was a movie about...
Or a blue woman with a tail?
It was a movie about diving to the deepest part of the ocean. And
it was an Avatar reference.
And then finding something that could kill you. But apparently he doesn't really believe that there's something that can kill you at the bottom of the ocean other than the immense pressure. Mm-hmm. Because he designed his own solo sub and dove 7 miles to the bottom of the Marianas Trench, which I always call the Marinara Trench.
But until you see photos and there's nothing red down there. It might be a little Red Lobster type thing.
It's just a good way to remember it.
I don't mean the restaurant chain. I mean it actually like a little grotesque looking deep sea creature down there. But there's no marinara or Red Lobsters, the restaurant.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to dive 7 miles into a bowl of marinara sauce. That's
7 miles.
That's the record that I'm going to set when I get rich. But okay, so he goes to the bottom of the ocean in this little super sub that he's got that, the pressure down there is incredible. They say it's like 3 SUVs sitting on your toe, which I have experienced back in my circus days.
But it's pressurized inside of this cabin thing. I mean, he first of all, he's a film director.
He's not feeling the pressure, if that's what you were about to imply.
The sub is feeling the pressure.
Yeah, the sub is built in such a way as to withstand this type of pressure.
But
so the human inside remains okay.
It's really tight. He has to be in this thing for hours on end with his knees bent, and he can't straighten his arms all the way out. And he said he had to train using yoga.
Yep.
He trained as a yogaist.
Oh, so you do know about this story?
Yeah, I looked into it.
Okay.
Okay, it's true. I corroborate your stories when
right.
I don't think they're true. To believe that it is.
Are you
true.
sure it wasn't Tom Selleck?
It could. Let's make it so. So Tom Selleck trained as a yogaist, and he goes down there. But it really all comes down to money. It's just, it's been 50 years since anyone's gone down there. I think the Navy sent 2 guys down there. They stirred up so much dust that they couldn't even take photos.
Yeah. They screwed up big time.
Oh, yeah. Big bummer. They come back up and say, well, show us the pictures. Lots of dust, dude. We didn't even take photos.
So he took all that into account. And we're talking about a man with essentially unlimited resources. And what he decides to do is to go to the deepest part of the ocean. Mm-hmm. And also, just because there's some interesting irony in the fact that we just wrote a song about my hair going up and your hair going down. And okay. I just happened to notice as I peruse all the news that there was there was a related pattern. There was one celebrity going down and there was one celebrity going up, or actually several celebrities, because Richard Branson's Virgin Galactic, this is his space airline thing that he's putting together. And Ashton Kutcher, or as my mother calls him, Ashton Kutchner, recently bought...
That's right.
Recently bought a ticket for $200,000.
I think she also calls Tom Selleck Tom Selleck.
Yeah, right. He bought a ticket for $200,000 to be a part of one of these voyages. I think next year, maybe 2013. But essentially, you go up in this thing. I saw a YouTube video of this thing where you've got two planes, essentially, that in between them, there's this other plane, the Virgin Galactic, the spaceship, and they take it up really high, and then they let go of this spaceship, and then it shoots up with rocket power up out into space. And there's like 6 really rich people, or maybe people that Richard Branson really likes, like a woman that is he married? Because that would be a good way to impress a girl on a date. Would you like it to go to, where's he from? He's British.
Would you like it to go to space?
Would you like it to go to the bottom of the Mariana Trench? I think he's actually British. Right?
What? You like? Yeah, sure. So
this is a way to impress a girl on a date, but that's kind of beside the point because we got a celebrity going up, we got a celebrity going down. We got people with unlimited resources, and the things that they're choosing to do with their money is to go really high and to go really low.
Well, I think there's a potential backlash here because people think, oh, if you got that much money, you should be making foundations and you should be giving your money away.
You should be giving your money to Africa.
You should be giving your money away to causes. But, in all fairness, I think these people they're investing in a cause, a certain type of exploration that lots of stuff could be learned here, people. Don't, get off their back a little bit. Give Tom Selleck a little bit of room here, If he wants to do something that he's always dreamed about, and there is this side benefit that it could benefit society at some point. There could be some sort of, discovery that could benefit everyone. So,
So you're saying don't judge rich people for what they choose to do with their money.
Well, it's not as bad as you might think. Oh, they should be giving their money to this. No, there is benefit, societal benefit to what they're doing. Well, I have no clue what it is.
Well, you have to assume that they're also doing other things with their money. I don't think that Richard Branson is just putting money into space exploration. I mean, I don't know the guy. In fact, I assumed a second ago that he was Italian.
Yeah, and I think he's pouring a lot of money into his town in Missouri. Right. He's keeping that going. Senior citizens come from everywhere to go to Branson, Missouri.
I see where you're going with that.
Yeah, so he's doing good for society at every turn.
But I assume that these guys are also doing, things that are directly benefiting people. But I say it's really easy to sit back and judge a really rich person with what they're doing with their money. And I say that if I had that much money, of course, I would be doing a lot of things to help people directly. But heck, I would do something.
What would you do?
Exploratory.
Okay, what would you do?
Well, in college, I did a presentation on Project Mohole. This was the attempt to...
Molehole?
Mohole. There's this discontinuity. It's actually a theoretical discontinuity. This is between the crust and the mantle and the Earth's... below the crust and then into the mantle, right? Which is mostly like liquid. But it's all theoretical. So these guys came up with this idea. It's called the Moho something. It's short. Discontinuity. So they said, play on words, we're going to dig the Mo hole. This is a hole that we're going to dig to that place. And then the Russians ended up going really close to it, right? I did this whole deal on this. The Russians have dug deeper than anybody.
You negotiated the deal with the Russians?
No, I did a presentation in college.
You wrote a paper?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a speech, actually.
Okay, and if you had money, you'd actually dig the hole?
No.
If I
had money, I would be an individual who would go the furthest into the surface of the Earth. I would go down to the discontinuity to prove once and for all that there is a species of humanoids.
Okay.
There. That we could converse with and we could develop a relationship with. All this effort to communicate with extraterrestrial life, I'm saying it's intraterrestrial life. It's down there in the bottom. It's at the discontinuity.
So Tom Selleck didn't go far enough. And so you want to get enough money so that you can meet the humanoids. Okay, that's
what I would do.
Okay, that's not, if you don't state your objective and you just state what you're doing, I'm digging a deep hole, then I think more people are on board. Don't tell people about the humanoid part.
When I find the humanoids, I make a big announcement with my humanoid friends.
Don't mention the humanoids.
I told you they were down here. Look, they can't. They're blind. They can't see.
Find them.
They have no use of eyes, and they're completely pale. They have lights on top of their heads that go. It's like a mating thing. I can't wait to meet them.
Meet them, not mate them. Okay, what I would do is, Tom Selleck went all the way down to the bottom of the earth.
Yeah.
And Richard Branson went all the way into the top of the earth, kind of above the top of the earth.
Yeah.
He went high in the sky.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna go laterally, but I'm gonna go inside the human brain, like a brain surgeon. I'm gonna have enough money that I'm gonna convince people. I'm gonna set up my own brain laboratory, and I'm gonna start doing brain surgeries on people, just because I have a lot of money. And then you open people's skull and you get them to.
Oh, are you like talking about like convicts or something? Like who?
No, just celebrities who pay me a lot of money to get a ticket to this.
Is this post-mortem or is this?
No, they'll say the ABCs, A B C D E.
Turkey.
Yeah, when you touch certain parts of the brain, and I'll just mess around with brains and come up with stuff.
I think my idea is a lot better than
A lot of stuff happens because of accidents, and I'm going to embrace that with celebrities' brains if they pay me enough money. And then who's
going to pay for this? What is their benefit? Ashton Kutcher, as my mom says, gets to go into space.
It'll be like a simulated ride of some sort. I don't know. It'll have one of those seats under it that emits like smells and like vibrations. Like if you're watching like a movie simulator.
You might just need to do it on people who are on their last leg, No,
that's too controversial.
No, except volunteers. You're not going to get celebrities.
I'm going to go deep into the brains of wealthy people because I myself will be utterly wealthy.
I think if you paid them, maybe you're onto something.
Let's spin the wheel and see how to end this episode of Good Mythical Morning. There's nothing wrong with aspiring to be rich as long as you know what to invest it in to make a difference. People, make a difference. You can do it, even if you're not rich.
Okay. Rhett from the future, and I have no time to explain something to you. Listen, I don't have a lot of time.
What?
This doesn't make any sense, but I just came from 48 hours from the future.
You've always been here.
But I just trust me. I please don't talk. Please don't interrupt me. I have to tell you, I came for 48 hours in the future. Whatever you do not. I know it looks great. Do not get that Doritos taco from Taco Bell. Trust me. I know you want it. You've been talking about it. It looks like it tastes good. And let me tell you, it does taste good. But this particular one that you order approximately 37 hours from now,
I can't resist.
That means you're gonna die. Trust me.
This means you're crazy.
Trust me.
Join us tomorrow. Hopefully he will have recovered from this. I'll go into his brain and see what I can do.
Gotta go back to the future. Where am I?